Hello everyone and welcome to Spot. In this episode we're gonna have a look at one pretty interesting and popular run word, which also happens to be ladder only and is quite expensive. Normally it's one of the two go-to weapons for the Boazon class, and of course that is gonna be Fight. Requiring 4 runes, them being Om, Jak, Lem and Eut, and 2 out of these 4 are pretty rare and difficult to find, and of course them being Om and Jak. Now, there's only 2 varying stats on this run word, and let's discuss why it's so special. Starting up with level 13 Fanaticism Aura when equipped, and this one can spawn between level 12 and up to level 15, so take a note of that, and we're gonna have a look at the Fanaticism Aura later. Now, the second option is 1 to 0 skills on this specific one, and of course this one can roll between 1 and 2 to 0 skills, so that's the second varying stats on this run word. The rest of the stats are all being static, and now let's discuss every single one of them. The 330% enhanced damage is extremely powerful stat and is quite high amount as well, and if you use elite weapon bases when creating this one word, you can extract a pretty solid damage output of this weapon. After that we got the ignore targets defense, and this is of course pretty solid offensive option and is preferred to have whenever you're using multi-shot or strafe skills with the physical damage dealing Boazon. After that we got the 300% bonus to attack rating, which is absolutely astronomical amount, and coupled that with the Fanaticism Aura and the perks from the skill tree of the Amazon class herself, you can basically grant yourself successful hits with every single arrow being fired at your enemies. After that we have 75% damage to undead, and considering how many undead enemies are within the game, we can say that this is another pretty solid damage booster. Followed by 52 attack rating against undead, and this is quite a comical amount, but is still presented on the run word. This is followed by 122 fire damage, and combining that with the pretty solid attack speed of your character utilizing this run word, we can say that you have another pretty solid fire elemental damage booster with this option. Then we have the all resistances 15, which might not sound like a lot, but is still pretty solid survivability perk to have on your character, and it's much better having it than not to. And then this one comes with something pretty unique and quite interesting. There's 10% chance reanimate as returned, and what this is doing is basically summoning black colored skeleton to fight on your side, which doesn't really do a lot of damage, but every now and then can actually save your character in a heated up situation, simply because it can be used as a meat shield. The very last option with this run word is gonna be the 75% extra gold from monsters, which of course is something good to have nevertheless. And now let's have a look at the Fanaticism Aura itself, and of course this one is coming under the offensive aura skill tree of the Paladin class and is the very last one to unlock, requiring level 30 of the character. So if we have a look at mine, at only level 9 it gives me 80% attack rating, 186% physical damage increase, and it also grants my party 93% physical damage increase, as well as 29% increased attack speed. So this is super powerful aura for both you, your mercenary, as well as your party, and can significantly raise up the power of your character. So the bases which I would recommend using for this specific run word are usually 2, and those are the 2 specific bows for the Amazon class, and the lead versions of them are called Matriarchal Bow and Grand Matron Bow. Normally I would prefer the Grand Matron Bow, as this one comes with much higher damage compared to the Matriarchal Bow, but it suffers attack speed penalty compared to the counterpart. So depending on your playstyle preference, if you want to go for a higher attack speed, you would likely make it into a Matriarchal Bow, and if you want to go for higher damage output, you'd normally make it into a Grand Matron Bow. The other 2 alternatives, I'd say, out of those 2 specific bow classes are gonna be the Crusader Bow and the Shadow Bow, and these 2 are normally used whenever you're making this bow for a mercenary. And of course, the value of this specific run word can be under the rune investment if it's a low row and if it's not made into a Amazon specific class bow, and if you happen to be making it into, let's say, 15% enhanced damage and 3 to bow and crossbow coming on the base itself, Grand Matron bow for example that is, and you roll it with 15 level Fanaticism aura and 2 to 0 skills, this is gonna be extremely valuable, and of course you can say the best bow within the game. So yeah, I'd say a lot of great potential within this Runeword, and the value can dramatically can differ depending on the varying stats and the base used, so take a note of that. Of course, I would highly recommend using one if you happen to be a physical damage dealing Boazon, and of course if not, you can still utilize the perk of having the Fanaticism aura for you and your party. If you put this specific Runeword on an Act 1 mercenary, you can still utilize the power which comes with it. And yeah, I'd say super powerful Runeword, and of course it can be somewhat tricky to get and to make, but once you possess one, it can unlock a lot of potential for your characters and builds, and of course the creativity comes along as with it. So I think that's gonna be the end of this video, guys. I hope you liked it and you've learned something new, and please, if you did, consider hitting the like button, why not leaving a comment, and maybe even subscribing to the channel. I will continue uploading Diablo related content in the future, so stay tuned for that, and I'll see you later. Bye!